Okay, let's dive into this. We've got a really interesting source description here today. It's about something called Hubble, Deep Space 2.
Right. Hubble Deep Space 2 sounds intriguing already.
It does. And our goal here, it isn't just to read through it. We want to unpack what kind of experience, what kind of journey this thing promises you into the cosmos,
Hmm.
especially focusing on all these amazing images and videos it talks about, all apparently from Hubble.
So, what does having this kind of curated Hubble data actually mean for, well, for exploring space from your couch, basically?
Exactly. And right away, the source hints at just
Yeah.
a massive amount of stuff. We're talking hundreds of images, hundreds of videos.
Wow. Okay. Hundreds. That definitely signals the scale we're dealing with here. It's not just a small gallery.
Not at all. It sounds more like a gateway,
Yeah.
a portal to a huge visual library of the universe.
And what's interesting, according to this description, is the purpose behind it. It seems the main aim of this Hubble Deep Space 2 is taking current research findings
Mm.
about galaxies, nebulae, all that, and packaging it, making it compact and easy to get into.
So it's aimed at people who are really into space, but maybe don't have time for like dense research papers.
Precisely. The source sort of points to the space curious person,
Hmm.
someone who loves this stuff and wants real details, but quickly, efficiently.
That makes sense. And it's not just showing the data dump, right? The source talks about different ways you can actually interact with it all.
Yeah, it mentions a few modes. There's a browse section apparently, lets you quickly flick through, what was it, over 550 photos?
Over 550, yeah,
Uh-huh.
with detailed info right there on screen as you browse.
So quick scanning, quick info, that's key for just exploring what's out there.
Definitely covers a huge range of deep space objects with that many photos.
Yeah.
But then it also describes a slideshow section. Sounds different.
It does. The source says the slideshow is more about immersion. You get hundreds of these photos, but full screen.
Ah, okay.
Trying to create that feeling of being in orbit, as it puts it, really drawing you in visually.
But you can still get the info.
Apparently, yeah. A tap brings up the details, but the focus is the full screen view, that immersion.
Feeling in orbit, just looking at a screen. I mean, that says a lot about how powerful these Hubble images must be.
Absolutely. And then there's also a gallery section mentioned.
Right, the gallery. How's that different again?
Well, the source describes it as another way to see all the photos, also impressively full
Yeah.
screen, but it specifically mentions zooming.
Ah, pinch to zoom.
Exactly. Using your fingers to zoom right in, examine the fine details. That really speaks to the quality, the resolution of the original Hubble data, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. Imagine zooming into a nebula or some distant galaxy cluster.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you'd really see the intricate structures.
Mm-hmm. The sheer complexity and beauty.
So it's not just stills. The source brings up a videos section too.
And quite a few. It says over 220 videos,
Wow.
which adds, a whole dynamic layer. You might get simulations, fly-throughs maybe, or perhaps little explainers that make these cosmic objects feel less static.
Over 220 videos.
Mm-hmm.
That really does add another dimension to understanding things light years away. And the source is clear. You get info specifically on deep space objects.
Yeah, galaxies, nebulae, the big stuff. And for really understanding their shape and form, there's a 3D section mentioned too.
3D models?
Seems like it. Exploring three-dimensional models of these objects, that'd be super useful for getting your head around the structure of, say, a complex nebula or how galaxies might be interacting.
Okay, so let's pull this together. What this source is telling us is that Hubble, Deep Space 2, is basically presented as this rich resource,
Mm-hmm.
giving you access to a huge amount of visuals and information about deep space, galaxies, nebulae,
Mm.
all from Hubble.
And importantly, offering different ways in. You can browse quickly, immerse yourself in a slideshow, zoom into details in a gallery, watch videos, even explore 3D models.
It's quite comprehensive based on this description.
And tying it back to that initial point, the source really emphasizes packaging current research compactly, making it accessible. Which really points to this broader trend, doesn't it? Making complex science, especially astronomy with its amazing visuals, digestible and engaging for anyone who's interested, not just the specialists.
So, stepping back, what does this source description signify? I mean, it really points to how incredibly accessible these complex, frankly, awe-inspiring views of the universe have become.
Yeah, beautifully packaged, ready for you to explore. It feels closer than ever.
It does. Which leads to a final thought, something for you listening to maybe mull over.
Mm-hmm.
Given that we now have so much de-chilled visual information about the cosmos available so easily, How does that sheer accessibility, that constant feed of cosmic wonder, actually change how we see ourselves,
Yeah.
our own place within all that vastness?
That's a big question. Does it make us feel smaller, more connected? It's definitely something to think about.